Hello there and welcome to the Cranky Old Man's blog. It's Sydney, Australia. It's the 27th of January and it's the day after Australia Day. And it's been a big day for the country. There's been a lot of things going on, activities, etc. There's a great tennis match last night. It was the men's final of the Australian Open. And I think that watching that last night and then especially the presentation at the end of it embodies some of the values we see as Australians, and that's why Australians embrace the two players who are involved in that final. And I think that when you looked at the acceptance speeches of the two men involved, and Wawrinka and Nadal, and the humble approach they have to what they do is very much Australian. It's not a it was very much about mateship involved with. Very complimentary about each other, and I found that quite refreshing actually. A couple of top line sportsmen and who played the game in the right spirit, and it was just a great thing to behold. There was also just another thing that happened during the course of the week, which to me embodies symbolises, I suppose, that why we embrace Australia as we do, and we try and help each other out. And that was the event at Blackett, suburb in Sydney. Unfortunately, there was a fire there at a house, and there was a pregnant woman and several kids in there. And three young ladies going past actually made the effort to go in and rescue these people out of the house. I mean, they're only young ladies. You're talking about 11, I believe, and I think it was 13, and the other one was 15. If I got the numbers wrong, please don't worry about it. But what it's about was just basically these three young ladies took upon themselves to go in there and help these people out. And quite a good interview during the course of the evening from one of the mothers, and she said she wasn't surprised. She said it's the way they were brought up, and it really comes down to what I spoke about recently about accountability, and we're accountable as parents to make sure that we do the right thing with our children and bring them up in a safe, caring environment and be able to help each other out. There was also with the course of the week we've had what I would call un-Australian behaviour. We've had vandalism occurring along the Maroubra coastline, the southern Sydney, and stretching for a number of kilometres. Graffiti everywhere with a lot of negative things about Australia and the first landing and all that type of thing. I mean, this has happened well over 200 years ago. Somewhere along the line, we've got to move on. It's history. It's over. It's gone. We've got to move on and just embrace what we have at the present moment and try and work through, what are perceived issues that these people have, and just get on with it, trying to work together as one unit. But unfortunately, that these things occur, and I don't think there'll be anything around that'll change that, and that's why we're all different, I suppose. But Australia has certainly come up with some great ambassadors too. With the latest Australia of the Year is a gentleman by the name of Adam Goodes. He's quite an achiever when it came to the game of AFL, Australian Football League. For those of you who don't live in Australia, it's a football game that basically is typically Australian, but he's achieved a lot of things in it. End of season Brownlow medals and also a premiership in there somewhere amongst that. And he's actually undertaken, for him to be able to do a bit more work within the Aboriginal community. He comes from an Aboriginal background himself, and he's quite an upstanding young man. And but I just wonder at times about the flavour of some of the things, and this is what I was talking about earlier on about the unity side of it. I just wonder about, you've heard people say in the past, I promote, the cause of Aboriginals or whoever they may be, because they're my people. And I don't understand that. Now, if me coming from a white Anglo-Saxon background, if I was to get up there and beat my chest and say, well, I'm going to do some good things for my people, I just wonder how I'd go. I dare say I'd get vilified and probably called racist, which is totally outrageous. Because I still believe we are totally unified as an Australian group. To divide ourselves into particular different racial groups and that, I think it's totally unproductive, and I don't really get the concept, and I don't see the value in it. And at the end of the day, I think we need to really focus on what we can do, to work as a group and to be Australian. And again, I talk about this being as one, and trying to get together as in that mateship type of atmosphere. I really feel that it's a way forward. But there's other people out there, and they'll disagree with me vehemently about this type of thing. But anyway, it's just a few thoughts on it. I'm proud to be Australian. I don't care what colour you are, what your background is. I'm proud to be an Australian. And anyway, that's all it is for me today. As usual, I don't know where you are in the world. Please take care, and bye for now.